welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host, Mike, and today we got a decent show for you. Please like and subscribe to Stock Talk Product Review for lots of product reviews from companies that some you've never heard of and some that you have, and they give us their product to try to share with others. Also, like and subscribe to go over some of the companies that we cover with stock twits and the top trending stocks on Google. Thank you for joining us. One of the first stocks we're going to talk about is Wisa Technologies Incorporated. Wisa Technologies Incorporated. Last tick was $3.60. Going to the chart year to date, it's $1.70. Things are rolling again for lots of the stocks in the market, but that's not saying on the horizon. As you know, bad things are to come. You also have the building / crisis of commercial real estate about ready to hit. That should be affecting some of the downtrends of the market because there is a price to pay for staying at home and not going to the actual buildings and things like that. So that'll be a price to pay between the bank lender and also the actual owner of the building, which you will see coming down the pike. But going so far today with this one, you are at $1.70 today. You're starting to see some resistance pop up today, and then obviously shorties got out, and you had a little bit of aftermarket sell-off, which is not a surprise here considering what we have going on with these types of stocks when they trend. Short dogs get out there. For year-to-date on the chart here, we're starting to see a turnaround on this one. We'll see if that's going to play out long-term, or is this another one of the fan favorites from the shorties there? So obviously you had before things were going great until the market correction. The question is, when's the next correction? Who knows? The shadow knows. We don't know. Well, some of us do, but we'll have to see. What could be coming around October, could be coming sooner. It just depends when the dominoes will fall. Let's go out and check out the Alphabet news and see why this is trending. Going on to Market Screener, we have two pieces of news. One from Market Screener says the company expects to raise gross proceeds in approximately $1.80 million before deducting fees and offering expense payable to the company in event that all private placement warrants are exercised for cash. The company would receive additional gross proceeds of approximately $3.20 million. The company intends to use the portion of the net proceeds by offering partially or fully to repay the outstanding principal amount of the senior secured convertible note issued for August 15, 2022, by amending the convertible note to use the remainder of the net proceeds for working capital, capital expenditures, product development, and general corporate purposes, including investments in sales, marketing in the United States and internationally. But let's not bury the lead. What we're piggybacking off of from before, if we could go back in time, if the construction of the internet in the vicinity does not slow us down here. Guys, they had this conference call and they were talking about as far as simple ways to set up the soundbar technology they have, and they were going to update, it says on here from Yahoo Finance, the Wisa Wave All Marketing Strategy. So in 2022, they had more than 1 million users come into the websites with more than 2 million 2 million pages. Every one of those visitors was responding to an organic search of product review, a customer spec sheet, and brought them on to the ads. If they ran ads, they pivotal messaging midway in 2022 from beginning people just to the Wisa site and bringing them to the Platinum site and bringing them with the ad that said Wisa certified Platinum audio model XYZ certified by Wisa. The impact was as they shortened the cycle for the consumer to make a buying decision and strengthen the branding results for the Wisa certified and continue to work at that. The most important thing that you want to look at, and that was so we don't bury the lead in the story, which was on the Google search machine, which is what you all care about, financials here. With George Olivia says, thank you, Brett. After taking quite a while for the flip side over on the financials for the full year of 2022, revenues were $3.4 million. Down from about 49% from $6.5 million in 2021. Gross margin was 11.7 compared to 28 in 2021. But hey, the economy's doing good, right, guys? It's primarily due to decreased volumes of fixed cost spread over the less units. The operating expenses were 18.4 million, including 2.2 million of non-cash expenses compared to 13.4, including 1.5 million of non-cash expenses in depreciation of 2021. And the primary stock comp expense depreciation, the revenue for the fourth quarter was 900,000 and change. That's approximately flat from 3 quarters of 2022. We ended the year with 2.9 million of cash after financing gross 7.6 million profit offering that closed in December, first with the subsequent 6.2 million registered direct offering that closed in February. So going on to StockTwits, because that's where the real traders are at, one of the best takes we have on the board is Stockware. He says, Wisa, this was over $14 in January, and the ratings have improved since then, so what's the problem? Should be 10 plus soon with deals coming up, sort of tech licensing capabilities of software, and are far more impacting than the naked eye or layman may know. People do not realize how important sound is in the experience and all experiences. So for all the applications too, geeks, IP is huge and buzz is real. So you have that, and he posts the charts and posts the receipts. Really good take there. Some of that could be correct. Some of the downtrodden still could be market correction, or some of that could be financial. And we'll see what the demand is picking up, because you never know, Mr. Stockware, what the market is going to dictate, especially if you get something like this on one of the chat boards and all of a sudden the momentum goes to it. Not that far of a reach. Anything's possible in this crazy market. Your price target is not that far off. Social says Wisa is trending on Twitter. If it's trending on Twitter, guys, that's something to think about, especially with Kip saying yes. 98 says he sold some today and needs more shares. You ready for more? Private offering will grab the dip and run with it. Yeah, guys, if you have to lock in profits, you need to do what you're doing. And then the dip is always good. Cheap seats are always better than the overpriced seats and getting caught in a bag. Prohibited said, someone mentioned $10. Look at the chart. It looks like a major resistance was at the level for a long period before dropping. Prohibited posts that there. The next stock we have is Baudax Bio Incorporated. Last tick was $1.94. Going to the daily chart, this thing is up 0.39 cents, 09.39 cents. People are starting to pick up on the scanners, and things are rolling for this company today. It's up 25.16% after changes, and with the after-hours year to date behind $1.52. But what stock isn't behind in this crazy market as far as changes from 2 years ago? Because there's nothing wrong with the economy or anything. Everything's great according to the outhouse and things like that. Going to what would you say the Alphabet News is saying about them? Bazinga, Baudax Bio Incorporated announced results from the second pre-planned interim analysis of phase 2 trial BX1000 for neuromuscular blockade NMB in patients undergoing elective surgery. Now, guys, one of the reasons why we cover some of these stocks is because they could be a safe haven to several, depending on studies and things like that. The deal is on some of these is you don't want to jump in on these when they're being talked about or when phases are popping and breakthroughs. You're going to want to do these when you can see it after a short week and things like that, and see if you can get in on the cheap seats somewhere if the money direction. So the second key is this is where does the money go and what studies do they have as far as who's funding it, how well are they managing the money. That's something you have to look into when you're buying biopharmaceutical stocks. It says the company announced the outcome of the first interim analysis of phase 2 trial BX1000 in patients undergoing elective surgery in January. All patients were observed to have met the criteria for good or excellent intubating for conditions at 60 seconds. The phase 2 surgery is a randomized, double-blind, active-controlled clinical trial comparing 3 doses of BX1000 to a standard dose of 0.6 mgs of Ricorium is a planned trial for 80 patients undergoing elective surgery, utilizing a total of intravenous anesthesia. The primary efficacy endpoint of the proportion of patients meeting the criteria of good or excellent intubating conditions using standard scale. Additionally, the clinical trial of evaluating the tolerable profile for BX1000 for rocurium is in the patient population. The second pre-planned interim analysis evaluated the intubating of conditions of 41 patients in 4 cohorts. Results show 41 subjects were observed to have met the criteria and excellent intubating conditions of 60 seconds and actual intubation of 40 subjects at 60 seconds in a subject of 90 seconds. Study treatments were general, well tolerated, no severe or serious adverse events. Top line data is expected to be late April, early May. To the website, looks good, better look good because it's not a Mr. Ham Sandwich stock and it's not a Mr. Thank You Very Much stock. It's above $1. So it is open and fair game for you guys to look at these types of things. You know my rule. I'm highly suspect of anything that's trading under $1. You know, some of you say you made money here and that. Yeah, you have. But for new traders, you want to stick to paper trading and things like that. But they're still worth a look and still worth an investigation into. But this one is not that. It's not a ham sandwich stock. It's not a Mr. Thank You Very Much, like I was saying. So Angizo alone is recommended for use of rapid onset of analgesia is required. They believe to create a value of healthcare providers, patients, and shareholders through the portfolio products, which also include robust pipeline of product candidates, which we're going to go into. So they're a pharmaceutical company focused on developing and commercializing innovative products for patients for acute care settings. They're committed to bringing clinical, meaningful therapeutic options for patients, healthcare providers, and payers for the Angizo Malo Exicam injection, which was approved, don't bury the lead there, which was approved by the U.S. Food and Drug February of 2020. So let's go to the pipes, check it out here. So this is, so here's your success. Now, when looking at this company here, the biggest newest breakthrough, as you saw, is IV intermediate acting agent BX1000. That's what broke today, and that's what the headline was. Now, as you can see with the Angiogesco Melexicam injection, you had marketed and hit phase 3 and broke. So there you have that. It's at the market stage and things like that. So what you have to take into conjunction here is you're at phase 2. That's what broke in the news. You're writing several things here is what you're trying to do. They have several things in the pipes here. So that's success in itself. So you could see that there is success in what they do. And we're going to go back to the chart and see where we were at previously. We're going to go back in time and turn back the clock to 2020. So not only can you ride these news wave headlines and things like that, you can also ride, you have 1, 2, now you have 3 plants in the hopper, and you're marketing in 1, and then you have these other 2 that are in preclinicals here. So that's something to consider as you're going along, and it could be a hedge just because people getting sick and things like that, even though there's a bad economy, that's not going away, okay? It's simply not going away. And so you have to determine if the financials are right and things are being managed right. Is this something you want to invest in? Is this something you want to get involved in? That's something to think about. And with a pissy economy coming, you know, this maybe this is worth a look to see where you're at in this, to see if the financials add up to you and if their investments are good. So let's go turn back the clock, and we're going to go to as far as 2020 and see how far and what news waves have ridden for the chart as far as resistance and as far as how things are going. And some of it with you know, the pandemic and things like that, some of that might be negated and market correction. So take that, you're gonna have to take that account when we look at that. So first, people, this is mainly for people that are new. If you've been on this thing and you've held and things like that, great for you. So this thing 5 years ago, when it hit its pipeline, it was at 11,522, and you had your 9,772. Now, resistance fell out, you had the pandemic, and you had people cash out because it's at its high point. And they saw problems happening. What happened in February 2020, February 28? We know what happened. And so lots of people got Dollaruskis, but then you had other breaks. You had your other breaks here where it went down to 5Gs and it keeps on crashing and things like that. So here's what you want to take into conjunction. And then we're going to go on to StockTwits, to where the real traders are at. The gamble here is when and if does this come back, and if it comes back. Well, you have 5 different things in the hopper, so you're depending on if those studies are coming through. If they come through and they get to where the other study where it went to marketing, guys, this might possibly be something where you're going to have to look at and check out. And you can't write off where this was at before if that's coming back. Things can change in a dime. I'm not saying it's coming up in a year. I'm not saying it's coming to, but 3 years ago, this was at a different place. So let's go on to see what the real traders are saying and see what they think about this, because we're going to get their opinion because they were here before, and some of them are dug in, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them made a lot of Dollarooskies. You were at between 8,000 and 11,000 a share just 3 years ago. So think of that before when you're thinking of things. Twin Star brings up one of the best points on the boards, except I do appreciate the Lord Vader posts. It's awesome that you guys are posting that stuff. It's way sick. So Twin Star 88 says BXRX. Are you saying they have enough funding for several quarters? TIA. Guys, that is a good point. If they have the funding, yes, this thing, we don't, anything's happened. Your wildest dreams possibly can come true, or they could possibly just be dead out in the water and just it stabilizes and stuck. So that's just something. There is a lot of happy pom-pom talk in there. Everybody's excited, which is great. You don't want to be on a board that's dead, but everybody's bringing up the cash on hand. Stonk Bambino says BXRX 3 cash share according to my recent data I found. Alani 22 brings up a great point here. He said all these fake bulls will sell for pennies before the close. He put that at 554. Does this happen? You could have fake bulls on this, but long term, the question is, do you bring up, is this a fake run? I don't know. They're writing the news wave, so obviously there's nothing fake about the news wave. I'm just saying, Alani, I'm not trying to be a sour patch or anything. But you have to, with all the studies they have going, question is cash on hand is going to be, you do have people posting their receipts there, so that is coming into question if you're investigating. If you're new, you completely need to stay out of this because of paper trading, too volatile, things like that. So you need to stick with paper trading so you don't lose your rear end because you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know your exit and entry points and things like that, unless you have taken some classes on that. But I don't know. I would just watch and learn from the big dogs there. But it could end up being that long term the Bulls have the last laugh on this, and they'll be putting on the boards, and the Bears will be long gone and not be able to be seen. So we'll have to see where this plays out. I'm out of here. We'll have another show tomorrow, and we'll see where this one ends up. Don't make it a dog show, and good night now.